I'd like to talk a little bit about honesty and how I learned how important honesty is. When I was a young boy in the summertime in Vineyard, Utah, our school was Union Elementary. And myself and my brother Stephen, Lee Madsen, and probably a bunch of other kids, we were down there playing baseball, if I remember correctly, there on the playground. And then they had this, it was a two-story building, one of the big old schools built, 100 years ago, but it had a outside metal uh, fire escape up to the second level. And it was probably 20, 30 feet high. And we were just playing on it, and we were playing baseball. We were throwing balls up from the bottom and having so people could catch them on top, just playing a game. So I was there and I was throwing it up, and my ball kind of went like this, I guess, and it went up to them, but then it came back down in toward a window and broke a window. It was kind of weird, but it broke the window. We were all scared, I think, and ran, and they said, "Oh, don't tell anybody. Let's get out of here." And so we left, and I remember getting back home that night and was probably feeling bad about it. And so I talked to my mother about it, and she, of course, talked to me about, well, you need to make good on that. You need to probably pay for that window. And I said, yeah, you're right. And so, again, that was in the summer, and not many teachers were around. And she must have made a call and so on. And so, the first day of school, I guess I'd earned money. I don't know what I'd done. The first day of school, I brought in the amount of money it took to repair that window. My mother probably found out what that was. And I paid for the window. And that's one of the first things I can remember as far as being uh, learning to be honest. I had some trials with windows when we lived in Vineyard for some reason. We were at the church there, and we used to make this little salt clay of something that you'd mold something and then it would dry and it'd be hard. So there was some left over that day when I was out there, and I just turned around. I had a ball of it, and I threw it, not thinking, and I threw a strike. It went right through a window of a church. Of course, I paid for that one too. Uh, and then the back door at our house in Vineyard there, which stood there until probably 2015, the red square house. My brothers, probably Stephen and Blake, and would lock me out of the house. And the back door had a framed window with four panes in it. And I remember I'd get mad or this or that and the other, and I think at least two times I broke that window. I'm not sure if I paid for that. I probably did or got spanked. I don't know. So I've tried to be honest all my life. One other quick story is that when I was working on my master's degree at BYU, I worked there. Uh, it was what they call dead day. So campus was kind of closed. And so I parked in a faculty slot because I didn't think they would ticket that day, but they did. Kind of ticked me off. And I said, well, I need to come up with this excuse and this excuse, and I need to do this and this and this. I don't want to pay for this, da 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 da. And I was sitting there talking about it and trying to come up with plausible stories, and probably weren't totally true. And the thought came to me, why are you doing that? Why don't sell your soul for $15, $10 ticket? And that taught me something. So anyway, we should all be honest with our fellow men and women and with ourselves. All right.